be able to hear yourself.
Okay, I don't care about that.
But you'll be able to talk into the camera.
Okay.
I'll give you a thumbs up when you go live.
Okay, we're not live yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, welcome here to John Fredericks Park here for the National Premier League's Queensland women's clash between Capalaba and the Brisbane Roar NTC. This one should be a real classic. Last time the two teams met, that was here at John Fredericks Sports Ground in a nominally home game for the Brisbane Roar youth. The game finished 3-3. Capalaba the only team outside of the top four to take points off the Roar youth so far this season. Not too far away from kick-off, as you can see. And as you can hear, Duncan Mansfield has got things underway. He's the referee today, assisted by Vanessa Martins and Morgan Pace. There's Capalaba in the yellow shirts, but they've been dispossessed. And it's the Roar in the orange with the white shorts who'll be getting things moving, kicking from right to left. Very, very young Brisbane Roar youth team tonight, as you'd expect. And that's Sian Freer, who just passed the ball out, aimed initially towards Misha Westland. All still at high school, these girls, year 9 up to year 12. Calabar's stolen possession, but then that's good football from Liani Freer. Plays the ball through to the captain, India Page Riley. Cuts back in fine goal scoring form. She scored in midweek for the Roar women as they continue their preparation for the W League season in the summer, playing a series of games against the youth sides, junior teams around southeast corner. The under 14s and under 15s. They lost on Wednesday night up at Walter Park against Moreton Bay United. Paige Riley did get one of the goals, and Abby Lloyd, my one-time commentary companion here on the Football Queensland live stream, was the other goal scorer. So the Roar youth continuing their women's team, continuing their preparations. Good ball aimed in there, but the Roar player wanted to really take a gamble. Here's Steph Latham. She's the captain in the number 7 jersey for Capalaba. Of course, she'll be known well to fans of women's football and the W League. She won the W League Premiership and Championship in 2008-09 with Brisbane Roar. First 2-year-old is now the owner of Everything Podiatry. Here's an opportunity for the Roar to open the scoring, and they do. It's her opposite number, India Page Riley. She continues her fine goal scoring form. That's her 10th goal of the season in the National Premier League's women's competition. And just like that, the Roar youth have jumped into an early lead. 1-0 Brisbane Roar. Any time at all, and Capalaba already with a bit of a mountain to climb. Vicky Lyons gets us underway, and it's Tibbles. That ball's cut out by McGrath. Liani Freer, one of 2 Freers in the team. Lights go out in the background. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. The LED lights are quite fantastic. They've come straight on, none of these delays that you get while the lights warm up. It's really very handy and real invaluable bit of equipment out here in Capalaba. Opportunity perhaps for the home team to fight back instantly. Good run of his near side by Zazia Sen. Needs support. It's a nice looking ball through towards Crew. Crew's being boxed into the corner somewhat. Fronted up by Holly McQueen and the former Olympic and Western Pride junior. She's done very well there, but she does concede the free kick. It'll be Capalaba who have an opportunity to get the ball into a dangerous position. I mentioned I was speaking to David De Silva just before kick-off, and the entire team's aged between 14 and 17 tonight for the Brisbane Roar. It's a good ball. Lee Chappell came and was impeded, according to referee Duncan Mansfield. The refereeing team, of course, sponsored by Total Tools, and it's just a talking to so far for Vicky Lyons, the English-born top goal scorer for Capalaba. She scored 8 so far this season. Spent 2 years at the Arsenal Ladies Academy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too far away from Misha Westland. She's been with the Roar for a couple of years now, after spending some time in formative footballing years at Seaforth FC in Sydney and up on the Sunshine Coast with Noosa Lions and the Fire. Maintain possession well. McQueen back to Chappell. Chappell will do well to cut back, and she does. Heatley gets there eventually. Westland has it left for by Sean Freer, and here's an opportunity perhaps for Liani. Good ball in the middle, but still there for Sean Freer now. Freer goes on the outside. It's a lovely ball. No foul. Raw player did go down. It's Capalaba who may well look to counter-attack, but not if Jasmine Barry can help it. She did very well there, but at the expense of a throw-in. That was rather wasted by Capalaba, and it's gone all the way back to keeper Ellie Chappell, who was with Lions just a couple of weeks ago. She was released, and David De Silva expressed his thanks to Lions for allowing that to happen for the 17-year-old. She has been involved in the NTC setup for the last 2 years, Ellie Chappell, so it won't be an entirely unfamiliar environment for the youngster. It's an attacking opportunity now for Brisbane Roar, thrown towards Lani. Goes back to Amy Cook, who was a late introduction to the starting 11, wearing the number 8 jersey. No was the call. The ZSN did well to turn back. That's good work from Capalaba, getting the ball out of danger. Lines, and the ball has gone out on this near side. It's Morgan Pace who put the flag up on this near side. Vanessa Martins over on the other flank. Was well intercepted by Ingold, but it's still there for the Raw youngsters. Ingold now a little bit out of position. She trots back into the middle, but it may be too late. Here's Heatley. It's forced back, though, brilliantly by Lyons, and that's excellent work. Defence starts in attack, and then Lyons continues with that tenacity. That's excellent work from Lyons, and she releases Amber Sims now over on that far side. Sims gets past her marker. Can she deliver across? She does, but there's 6 Raw bodies there, and they have enough time to conspire to hook the ball out. They had a lot more time than I think they realised, especially Winona Heatley. Could have done with a bit of a call from some of her teammates. Nevertheless, the danger has been cleared by Brisbane Roar. It'll be attacking throw-in from Capalaba, who did win last time out against Mudgerabar, 3-2 the score, so it was quite a close one down at Sid Big Park. Beautiful picturesque ground that we were at just a couple of weeks ago. Here come the raw youth through Holly McQueen. Now Freer does well on the outside, looks for support, finds support in Westland. Westland has a lot of time to pick her spot. It comes off the referee. Considered part of a pitch, of course, so can't appeal too much, but it's hooked clear and the Raw will have to build from the back once more. It's not a great touch, and that allowed Amber Sims just to nip in there and challenge for the ball, but it's a Brisbane Raw throw just in front of the small grandstand here at John Frederick Park. Back inside to Cook. It's just her second game for the 15-year-old. 16 this year. And Misha Westland can't quite keep that in. She got a bit of a call from Holly McQueen, just apologising. It's India Paige Riley who got the opening goal here, if you've just joined us. It's her second goal in a week in orange colours for the Raw. She scored in midweek against Moreton Bay United. Along with Abby Lloyd in that 3-2 defeat against the Moreton Bay United junior side. There's an opportunity now perhaps for the host, Lyons. Has no support, so she's going to have to go herself. It needed a save. And Ellie Chappell did well. Corner kick. That's excellent vision from Lyons. She saw that there was perhaps an opportunity at that near post. And Ellie Chappell had to be alert. Capalaba almost back on level terms in these early stages of this first half. Rob Gibson will be happy with the way his side have fought back after going behind so early to that India Paige Riley goal. Corner will be swept in eventually. Capalaba, for those of you interested, are in 8th spot on the ladder with 7 wins, 9 defeats in the season, lying on 22 points. It's 9 behind the Raw in 5th as this corner's gone to the edge of the box, but it's just tapped back for Sian Freer, and that's good football up top by Riley. Riley was challenged by Robbins. Foul is given for that tackle on Winona Heatley. Robbins has been booked twice so far this season. She could perhaps think herself fortunate not to have conceded another yellow card there. Well read by Tegan Thompson. She managed to nip in there, and despite being crowded by 3 Brisbane Raw players, managed to squeeze the ball out. That's good work from the hosts. Excellent work from the left back Thompson. Capalaba switch. Hooked forward by Crew. You heard her disappointment in hooking that ball forward towards Zia Sen. Former Moreton Bay United and University of Queensland player, as well as for Pride. She played 18 games and scored once for the Pride last year. Girl from Singapore. She's still in that advanced position as the Raw look to play it out from the back. Chappell goes long now. That's good work. Over on that far side from the Raw, an opportunity now. 2 runners in the middle. One of them was Liani Freer and never got to her. So perhaps a bit of a let-off for Capalaba, and the ball is rather aimlessly pumped forward into where you would hope there would be a runner, and unfortunately for the host, there was none. A lot of space in the middle for Liani Freer. She's closed down though, and then it was left for her by Riley, and perhaps Had Riley got her foot on the ball, it could have launched another counter-attack for the Brisbane Roar. Here's an opportunity now, though, over on that far side for Lyons. It's comfortably dealt with by the Roar defence. They've looked assured so far. Just like that ambitious strike from Vicky Lyons, but almost squeezed in. Is Liani Freer to twin sister Sian. Sian twisting and turning on the edge of the area. Lovely footwork from Sian Freer, and she wins a corner. Excellent work from the Brisbane Roar youth. And they continue to press their advantage. They've got attacking threats all over the park. Have Brisbane Roar, who've lost just 4 times in their 15 games. It is the least number of games played by anyone in the competition. They only played twice in May. We'll go short with the corner. Here's Westland. Cook back to Heatley, and will build in their attacking half. Westland to Cook. Cook goes wide. A little bit of pace injected in by Barry, former Souths junior. Her ball doesn't quite work out, but the Roar do continue to switch the ball towards this side. Nice touch from Westland. Ball let her down a little, and then that one's aimed towards Lyons, and danger, although she's very isolated, is Vicky Lyons. She does find support in the end through Robbins, and now the captain Latham. It's back inside. Aurora back in numbers though, and it's Liani Freer who's there, and Liani Freer comes up with it. Good work from the Roar. Now an opportunity perhaps for McQueen over on that far side. Just too far ahead of Riley. Still there now though. Here's Liani Freer, too far ahead of her as well. And it'll be a goal kick for Capalaba, which will be taken by Bariel, Megan Bariel, formerly of Souths United and Redlands United. Was the under-19 Queensland keeper and Australian keeper. Back in the not too distant past. Played her junior football under the Strikers banner before moving over to Souths United. Her goal kick was claimed by Cook, and Cook goes back to McQueen, who in turn gets Chappell back involved. It's not a warm night, but it's not too cold as things stand. The temperature not quite as bad as what we suffered on Sunday afternoon in that National Premier League's men's clash between Olympic and Moreton Bay United. Unfortunately, we've already had a goal here to warm ourselves as well, so could be plenty more where that came from as well. The hosts have conceded more than 4 goals at home 6 times, 8 times in total. In fact, they haven't had the best of times here at John Frederick Sports Grounds, have Capalaba. They failed to score 3 times at home, just twice away. They've only won 3 times at home of their 9 matches. Did take a touch off Misha Westland. Zazia Sen will take the throw-in, looks for a run ahead of her, but that was a disappointing throw-in. Play will be allowed to continue by Duncan Mansfield. Sian Freer has Westland steaming past on the overlap. Excellent work rate from the Brisbane High State student. There's a flick on there, and now another shot. Unfortunately for Riley, she couldn't get that one on target, and will hopefully get that ball back at some point from the spectators up on the deck here at John Fredericks Park. None seem too inclined to get it thus far. The Roar have been in some fine form over the last few matches. They've won their last 5, including that 3-1 win against Souths that knocked Souths off the top of the table. They sit in second now on 45 points behind Lions in 46, as Ariel doesn't get enough on that goal kick, and that'll be a promising attacking platform for the Brisbane Roar to exploit, you'd think. It's all getting quite close at the top. That defeat for Souths last weekend. 3-1 the score at Wakeley Park on the synthetic surface there. Made sure that South slipped to second in the table. Lions taking top spot by just a solitary point. Their goal difference is far superior to South, though. Then if we're talking about goal difference, have a look at the gap in fourth. That's great pressure by Crew, and she links up well with Lions here for the hosts. It's a bit casual from Crew, but Lions does retain possession. Here's Sen. Everything coming down the right for Capalaba so far. Collins. And that ball just offside, unfortunately, for the hosts. Capalaba see Vicky Lyons in the offside position. She scored goals against South West Queensland Thunder, Sunshine Coast Wanderers, Logan and Western Pride, making up her 8 in 12 matches. Awkward one for Chapel to deal with at the back, but manages to deal with it fairly comfortably and under very little pressure, it has to be said, from Capalaba. Punchy Hodgkinson in the number 13 jersey, the year 11 Emmanuel College student, latterly of South United and Palm Beach. Interestingly enough, is a Queensland representative in the Hammer. Tiny slip of a thing, doesn't look like she'd be able to use the weight that you'd need necessarily to fling that hammer down the field, although a lot more about hammer is momentum, as friends have told me in the past, so timing and momentum, it's nevertheless an impressive achievement, and she'll be called into action here to perhaps repel this free kick. It looks like Collins will be taking it and looking for an option. Crew is alone on this near side. Sen comes even wider, but she's a long way out. It's just chipped in towards where Lyons was making a run along with a couple of her teammates. Only 3 players making an effort to get into the box there, as Capalaba and Rob Gibson just going safety first. They do trail by a goal to nil, a India Page Riley goal to nil in the opening minutes of the game. It's a fine finish from the youngster, her second goal in a week. It's her 10th goal of the season. Oh, that was sloppy from Chapel, right into the chest of Kelly Crew, but just cannoned off her a little and got away from the right winger for Capalaba, and she's just unable to make the most of it. It was a good opportunity, a real golden opportunity, handed to them on a plate by Ellie Chapel. It's a lovely touch in the midfield there, and then Riley was being manhandled somewhat in the midfield. Duncan Mansfield gets the whistle straight into the mouth and gives another opportunity to launch a ball forward for the Roar. Lovely control on the chest, that. It was Winona Heatley who's in that advanced position. And all the way back though, Hodgkinson does well. Heatley again, crowded out of it somewhat by captain Steph Latham for Capalaba, but it's still there. Here's Riley. Riley squeezes a shot away. Needed to be dealt with by Bariel. especially with Sean Freer lurking at that back post. Same towards Lyons, but it was Westland who came away with it. Here's Heatley. Heatley tried to thread the needle, and it was well cut out by Amber Sims over on that far side of the field. To the small crowd here. Friday Night Football, the Football Queensland website and YouTube channel. Get involved, let us know where you're watching from and who you think is going to come away with the points. The Raw do lead by a 1-0, a very early India Paige Riley goal. Capalaba looked out of it by a long stretch. Good competitive encounter in the National Premier League's Women's Queensland competition. That'll be a goal kick for the Raw. Ellie Chappell will take just a first start for Brisbane Raw. She goes short. Hodgkinson's there. And they've played themselves into a little bit of trouble. Despite the attentions of Westland, they can't keep it in, and Capalaba stream forward. They perhaps sense that they're getting a foothold in this game, and if they're going to score, they'll need to score quickly, just to capitalise on this pressure that they're enjoying. Sen will take the throw. She has more success this time than before. Turned by Collings. It's a rather aimless cross into the middle, unfortunately, for the hosts, but it's still there for Capalaba. Collings has another opportunity. She squeezes it across to Latham. She can't squeeze a shot away before she's tackled by one of 3 Raw players who swarmed around her. Excellent work from the Raw youngsters. And then another one for Riley to chase. Sounded even from over here that perhaps Riley got the last touch on that. Of course, almost impossible to see from our vantage point on this scaffold. May or not be slightly wobbly. Nevertheless, we've got a fine view of the action, thanks to the team of volunteers down here at Capalaba for getting this up and running before kick-off. Moving the ball forward with intent. Here's Riley. Squeezed out of it though. Capalaba will come away. An opportunity to break down this near side with Crew. Crew nearly wanted that in front of her from Collings, but had to pause in her run, and that allows for Raw to clear. Liani Freer. And then the Raw just advance the ball back upfield. It's been impressive stuff from the Brisbane Raw NTC team. David De Silva is telling me sometimes you're not quite sure what you're going to get with youngsters, and that's a sentiment echoed by a number of coaches around the league, whether it's men's football or women's football. A bit of fortune befell Liani Freer there. She can't squeeze the ball through to her sister Sian, and Capalaba will break, but that's great pressure from India Paige Riley, and it falls for Sian Freer. Now her twin sister Liani, still there for Liani Freer. Shot comes in, it's almost put into the back of her own net by Zoysa Sen, but hacked clear. Megan Bariel did well. I'm not sure she would have expected the ball to come towards her from Zia Sen. She's going to have to be alert once more, but a good intervention from Kelly Crew, and now Capalaba will try to clear, but there's no one in a forward position for the hosts, and the Raw will just keep coming. Sian Freer now. Cross to her twin sister, tries to fashion a shot away, never got enough on it to even remotely challenge Megan Bariel. The experienced goalkeeper claims the ball and then puts that one high up into the night sky here at John Fredericks Park. Sims challenges. Now pressure being put on by Vicky Lyons, but the Raw show the composure, enables them to clear. Lots of space on this near side for Sian Freer, but it never got to her. Good read by Zazaya Sen, although the pass did leave a little to be desired. Here's Latham. Good work wide to Sims. Sims looks to put a cross in towards a back post. It was too far from lines to get a head on and not quite far enough for Zazaya Sen. Almost an opportunity for Capalaba to equalise, but not quite. Westland cuts back and earns a bit of a rebuke from Sian Freer, who wanted that ball played in. She gets it now, though. Here's Sian Freer. Has India Page Riley in the middle. 2-0, no. Oh, that's a fine save from Bariel, but India Page Riley should have scored her second. She did have, for Capalaba defenders, in very close attendance, perhaps there was a touch, but a real let-off for Capalaba. And India Page Riley will be kicking herself, when really she should have been kicking that ball into the back of the net. Westland back to McQueen, now for the Roar as they build again. Nice turn from Winona Heatley, the former Cairns expat, as it were, from far north Queensland. Corner has been given by the linesman over on that far side. It's Vanessa Martins. Sian Freer once again bearing down on goal down the left, attacking that right-hand side for Capalaba, where it has to be said a lot of the attack has been coming from for Capalaba, but it has left them vulnerable to the pace of Sian Freer. Cross swept in by Westland. Headed clear, but only as far as Barry, who hooks it back inside, but there's nobody there. Riley forced to check her run and be launched forward. Lines can't quite control it, but comes up with the ball anyway. Challenged by Heatley, and Heatley did well, and now Lyons is squeezed off the ball. It's fallen for Latham, though. Lots of space on this near side for Crew, if it can get to her. Westland watched it onto her chest and did incredibly well in cutting that ball out. Sian Freer wants the run of Cook, gets it, goes on the overlap now, but Cook can't squeeze the ball through. Wants support in the middle, does Cook. Finds it in Riley. Sian Freer once more, but Sen is alert to the challenge and then hooks it clear and gets a little bit of push in the back from Sian Freer for her troubles. There's Zoya Sen. Cook. Westland. Westland gets it back and has a lot of space. That's opened up. Crew left her marker. Sian Freer back to Westland, who puts a cross in, headed in towards a danger zone from Heatley. Too close to Bariel. Danger averted for Capalaba, who launch it forward once more towards Vicky Lyons, and Vicky Lyons is allowed to run straight through the middle. Can she squeeze a shot away? No, she can't. McQueen was there to get her foot in the way, and she's hurt herself in doing so. I think Lyons perhaps kicked the ball as well as the outstretched foot of Holly McQueen, former Olympic and Western Pride junior. Solitary goal has come against Moreton Bay United so far this season. She's just getting a little bit of attention is Holly McQueen, and that'll give us an opportunity to remind you to check out the Football Queensland website, Football QLD, footballqueensland.com.au, apologies. Find all the previews, reviews of all three Football Queensland competitions. At senior level, that's the National Premier Leagues, National Premier Leagues Women's and the Football Queensland Premier League. You'll be able to get all the information about referee, Total Tools Referee of the Month, and Volunteer of the Month as well. So make sure you check that out. Lots of fantastic content going up on the Football Queensland website these days. Also remind you of our live streams this weekend. Super Saturday in the National Premier League's Queensland. Brisbane City taking on Cairns at Corporate Travel Management Stadium. That game kicks off at 6:30. So we hope you'll join us there for that one. And then the Sunday sessions, Ipswich Knights against South United at 3 o'clock on Sunday in the Football Queensland Premier League. And if you're sick of hearing my voice, well, I've got some bad news for you. I'll be guiding you through all 3 matches this weekend. I'm looking forward to having you join me on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channel. So that break in play is just about over. We'll restart with a drop ball from Duncan Mansfield as he awaits for players who used the opportunity to go and grab some water and a bit of advice from coaches David De Silva and Rob Gibson respectively. Crew plays the ball back to Ellie Chappell to a round of applause from the spectators and coaches. Amassed over on that far side and to our left in the clubhouse here at John Fredericks Park. Hopefully that little delay hasn't forced any muscles to tighten up in the interim. Here's Demi Robbins battling hard over on that far side, wants support, desperately needs support. Collins did arrive, but not to Robbins' liking, and she's forced to go back, but the Roar were able to clear when it was eventually pumped forward. Another attacking throw in for Capalaba though. Thompson will take it on that far side. It's on a 6-game goal-less run. It's Tegan Thompson. Playing left back this evening. And she receives the ball now. Had to wait for a little bit. Throw not quite as hard as she was hoping. It's an opportunity perhaps for Capalaba through Crew. She plays the ball forward to Lyons. The referee has blown his whistle. You might have heard a couple of the comments from the Capalaba players who were decidedly unimpressed with that decision. Duncan Mansfield is not one to be swayed. Here's Chappell. Brisbane Roar NTC leading Capalaba here at John Fredericks Park in the National Premier League Women's Queensland competition, as Misha Westland just shows some good skill over on that far side, but it's for naught as Capalaba come straight back. Here's Crew, tries to play in Lines. It's going to be there for Lines. She's got Latham in the middle. It's there towards Latham. Latham can't quite control it. It's behind the former Raw W League star. Instead, it's back with Crew. Crew plays that ball once again behind her teammate in Collins, but she receives the ball back eventually from Sen, but is forced back even further to Tibbles. Lyons was offside, so forced back into the middle of the field. Kelly Crew enjoying some support from England. Do let us know where you're watching from on the Football Queensland Facebook page. In the comments, just jump on and let us give you a shout out in your hometown. Kelly Crew's done some good things going forward down the right hand side for Capalaba, but has somewhat left Zazaya Sen isolated at times, and that's given Sian Freer free rein down this left wing for the Brisbane Roar, and here she is now. Goes back inside to Westland. She's been good so far, Westland. Riley, the opening goal scorer, gets a shot away, but it was comfortable for Bariel. Just an adjustment of the headband for India Page Riley. Opened the scoring in just the 3rd minute of the match. Fine finish from the youngster to go along with her goal for the W League team, who have been warming up for the W League season by playing National Premier League's junior teams, in midweek competition. It's a 3-2 defeat for the Roar Youth. Bit of miscommunication from the Roar there between Westland and Freer, and that allows Capalaba to come through once more. Lyons couldn't squeeze that ball through though, but she picks up the ball once more. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Liani Freer getting involved with Demi Robbins, who'll know how to look after herself. She's the only girl in a family of brothers and cousins. Taken fairly quickly, and it's right onto the foot of Latham, and then shot comes in. How about that? That's a fine strike from Vicky Lyons. That's her 9th goal of the season, and we're back on level terms here at John Fredericks Park. Capalaba 1, Brisbane Roar NTC 1. Good work for Capalaba. It had been coming, you'd have to say. Not for the Roar Youth had been casual about things. They just let the game slip away from them, and Capalaba had grown into the match. They've won 3 of their last 5, have Capalaba, but in an alternating sequence, so you could argue they're due a defeat today. But as we mentioned in the pre-game, last time these two sides met, it was a 3-all thriller, 6-goal thriller here at round 5 in what was a home game for the Roar Youth, but played here at John Frederick Park. The Roar NTC playing something of a nomadic existence in the National Premier League's women's competition. Roar will need to inject a little bit more impetus into this game. Here's Heatley doing just that. Well, she's crowded off the ball, and that could have left the Roar a little bit vulnerable at the back, but Cook had fallen back to cover that. Shani Freer did well to pick that ball up. She wanted a run from twin sister Liani and didn't get it. Sisters probably know each other's game better than anyone, you'd have thought. They have linked up well on occasion, as has Misha Westland. She's been good so far in this opening half. And she gives the ball away there. Commentators curse or what? Robbins squeezes that ball forward. Capalaba looking threatening all of a sudden. Latham with the long ball, and that's given something for Tegan Thompson to chase. She gets there, but she's squeezed off the ball and concedes the free kick, does she? She doesn't. It's a corner kick. Good battling over there on that far side by Tegan Thompson. I was mentioning just before that Capalaba haven't had a good record here at John Frederick Park. They have won 2 of their last 3 at home. Overall have conceded 31 goals, 32 now here in Capalaba. In gold. Tries to squeeze that ball through. Bit of a battle going on over there. Good strength shown by Steph Latham, the 32-year-old. It's forced wide though. Has that ball gone out? No signal from the linesman over on this far side, but referee Duncan Mansfield, sponsored by Total Tools, does point to the corner spot. Another opportunity for Capalaba to put the ball into a dangerous area. Sims is in there. Crew is lurking on the edge, but the ball is played a long way back. And the Roar are able to clear acrobatically in the end on the edge of the area. And the Roar will look to build. It's a bit of an aimless ball towards Liani Frievo. Capalaba will come forward once more. It was Ingold who brought it forward and played in Crew, and then Crew hairs after that, chasing down Westland, but Westland did well, showed some composure, and Crew doesn't chase quite so hard this second time against Holly McQueen. Capalaba are winning those balls in the midfield now. Nice touch from Robbins. Capalaba retaining possession. Here's Sims. Keeps it in, wins the throw-in. Better football from Capalaba. Had a bit of a scare last week. Mudgerabar scoring twice. That ball's gone all the way through, has it? It's fair once more for a shot from Ingold. It was blocked almost as soon as it left Ingold's foot, and Aurora are able to clear that ball away. That's a sensational tackle from Sims, though. Played in once more to Latham. Latham turns. Safety first by McQueen. Another corner for the hosts. They're getting closer, the Bulldogs. Getting more than a sniff of an opportunity here in the closing stages of the first half. Corner swung in. Bit too much swing on that one. Ellie Chappell watches it hit the side netting and will take the goal kick in her own time, you'd think. A lot of space on this near side, and that's where Chappell goes. Is Westland, closed down quickly by Sims, who switched wings, momentarily at least, with Kelly Crew. Roll build from the back, Crew backtracking furiously. It's on the ball now, though. Now plays the ball once more through to Latham, who tried to squeeze in Ingold, who's suddenly got herself into the game. I recall mentioning her in the opening half hour, but she's certainly had a few more important touches since, and it's all the better for the hosts, who equalised through a real thunderous strike by Vicky Lyons. After India, Paige Riley got things rolling for the Brisbane Roar NTC team. Westland is challenged fairly by Sims, and Sims injects some pace once more. Here's Latham. Latham asks a lot of lines. Unfortunately for the Brisbane Roar, Jasmine Barry was there to just help that ball back towards Chappell. And that's going to be half-time. Fantastic half of football from these women. It's Capalaba 1, Brisbane Roar 1. India Paige Riley gave the visitors the lead in the opening minutes of the game. A real fine finish from the youngster. But then Vicky Lyons, absolutely
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini-Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini-Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson, he's a legend. And Steph Catley from the Westfield Matildas, she is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
I could watch them all day, even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Welcome back to John Frederick Park here, where if you've only just joined us, you've missed a real cracking first half. It's Capalaba 1, Brisbane Roar NTC 1. The Roar took the lead through India Page Riley in the opening minutes of the game, and then it was a thunderous shot from Vicky Lyons that managed to get us back on level terms. That's Vicky in the number 15 jersey, just stretching out that hamstring just on the edge of the centre circle. Just waiting for the referees to come out onto the field, and while we do, we should mention that Capalaba would like to thank Hog's Breath Cafe and Old Mac Mazda for their continued support of the team this year, and the Brisbane Roar NTC. They're proudly sponsored by the Brisbane Airport Corporation. And as if it was all rehearsed, the Total Tall referees are walking back onto the field. Duncan Mansfield is the man in the middle with the whistle, and he is assisted by Vanessa Martins on the far side. And Morgan Pace on the near side. It's been a really good game, this. Two sides shared a 6-goal thriller in the opening clash between these two sides this season. I'm just checking to make sure there haven't been, or if there have been any substitutions. I'll let you know when I find out if we have had a couple of changes. It does look like Georgia Bowman has come onto the field, for Year 10 Genesis Christian College student. I'll let you know whom she has replaced when I start seeing some numbers, but they have been good for Raw Youth. Were pegged back by Capalaba, and then a really good strike with 5 minutes to go before the break from Vicky Lyons. It was an absolute thunderbolt. You have to make sure you check out the highlights of that one on the Football Queensland YouTube channel. Duncan Mansfield is fairly satisfied that everything's ready, and he will get things underway shortly, you'd think, once he has worked out his watch. And here we go, we're off and running here at John Fredericks Park, and that ball is played quite a fair bit behind India Page Riley. And there's a collision between Heatley and Vicky Lyons, and Vicky Lyons was pretty unhappy with the non-call. She may well be. She was like she got fairly well bundled over by Winona Heatley, who's from Cairns, played for Port Douglas Dragons and Marling Coast Rangers, as well as for Far North Queensland Heat, who are, of course, now been rechristened as Cairns FC, and it's Cairns FC's men who will be in action in our live stream on Super Saturday. Brisbane City taking on Cairns at Corporate Travel Management Stadium. Kickoff is at 6:30 for that one. What's that for a touch from Amber Sims? Plays Demi Robbins into a little bit of trouble, and Robbins stopped to pick up her shin pad, but no matter. Capalaba retain possession through Collins, and over on that far side, Kelly Crew, whose family are watching from the UK. So hello, hope you're enjoying the summer over there. It's a cool evening here in Brisbane after what's been another stunning day in southeast Queensland. They call this winter. It's sensational weather as always. Beautiful one day, perfect the next. Riley tries to slide that through ball through to Barry, and it was somewhat less than perfect, and it allows Capalaba to clear their lines eventually, and not with balls like that. That's a lovely touch from Anna McGrath, who's a substitute, who's come on in this second period. Got away from Robbins there, but here's an opportunity for Riley, and she was well cut out and well chased down by Tegan Thompson. Corner for Brisbane Roar Youth. Brisbane Roar NTC Raw will go short. Here's Riley. Swings the ball into a dangerous area, but Megan Burial was the only player in a shirt that wasn't yellow that rushed to that near post. So bit of a let off there and a missed opportunity for the Brisbane Roar. Barry goes back to McQueen. Did take a knock in that first half, but doesn't seem to be showing any ill effects from that as she goes on a nice little run down that far side. Fortunately, it comes to nothing. Throw will be taken by Sen. The battle going on there. Vicky Lyons not backwards in going forwards. But it does end up on her backside and concedes for throw-in at the same time. Not quite the outcome that she or her home support expected or had hoped for. A bit of a heavy touch there by Collins, and that might lead to another opportunity for the Roar. And it's a little bit scrappy, a little bit flighty at the moment. Here come the Roar youth. Nice football from the youngsters. Here's Riley trying to go round the outside of Thompson. Thompson does brilliantly. That's superb defending from the Capalaba left back. She's done sensationally there, and then is that a little push? Did look like it from the substitute, Georgia Beaumont, but didn't come off, and Capalaba will clear their lines and switch play over to that far side and set. Queen concedes the throw-in. McQueen wins the throw-in. In the end, a little bit of confusion over on that far side in front of the grandstand. A few hardy spectators huddling together for warmth. As I mentioned, it's not cold. A little bit of a nip in the air, and that's all it is. Very still night. Perfect conditions really for exciting football, and that's what we've seen so far. That was well blocked out. The pace of Sian Freer over on that far side, the left for the Roar, has been evident all the way through the first half, and she's just showing once again that she's there and able to cause problems for the Capalaba side. Free kick is given. Roar take things quickly. Here's Heatley. Heatley with a shot. Worth the effort. Burial watched it all the way and was fairly comfortable taking it on the first bounce, but not been worth the effort. Got her head to it and then receives the ball again. She was getting a little bit hampered there by Tegan Thompson, but Thompson does very well and wins the throw. That's excellent from Thompson. She's got more into the game as the match has gone on. Here's Riley. Inside to Liani Freer. Who's bundled off it in the end, and once more the Capalaba side come forward. Westland, perhaps not the right area to be trying those tricks, allowing the ball to run under her foot and passed on the other side, but it paid off for the Roar. And a little bit of miscontrol now once again, this time from Cook. Roar do need to get to grips with themselves. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on there. Brooke Spence grabbing a whole fistful of Liani Freer's jersey, and we'll have another opportunity to take the free kick after one of the Freer twins takes it too quickly. A bit of petulance being shown there by Liani, and we've seen that a couple of times in the first half. Cook lays it off to Liani Freer, who hooks that ball towards the edge of penalty area. Still bobbling around there. It's hacked clear. It's going to come straight back though through McQueen. McQueen, nice footwork from the centre back. And then nips in there as well to get that ball. Good work from Varroa to retain possession. Heatley goes wide. McQueen does trot back. Good physicality from Sian Freer that time. She wins a throw-in over on that far side against Desire Sen. Sen has been targeted somewhat by Sian Freer. She's really has gone for it on a couple of occasions and just used a little bit of physicality. There was a bit of a push in the back, if you remember, in that first half. Flag is up on this near side. Morgan Pace doing the honours from the Total Tools refereeing team, and it's a good decision. Always difficult from throw-ins, especially when they're played back straight away. You have to be very quick in getting back into an onside position if the defence is disciplined, as Capalaba's was on that occasion. Lions needed to be disciplined there, and is so, and forces the Raw back, all the way back to Ellie Chappell. Is that going to be a first-time effort from Steph Latham? Would have been good. Would have been a great effort if it had been. Sian picks up the ball and then can't get the ball through to her sister Liani. Will do come away with it over on that far side. Here's McQueen again. A little skip of annoyance from the youngster, and Capalaba will take the throw in. They're all young for Brisbane Roar side, between 14 and 17. Only lost 4 games this season, all of them coming against the top 4 sides. The Gap in round 2, Souths in round 4, Lions in round 10, and Moreton Bay in round 11. The only other team to take points off the Roar as Beaumont tries to squeeze a ball through on the outside to Riley, who may or may not have been offside, allows the ball to run anyway, and it'll be a goal kick to Megan Brariel. And we are about to see another substitution. It's Jess McLean who is going to come on, the New Zealander. I think it's Kelly Crew who's come off. Disappoint her supporters back in the UK. Do stay with us though, there's plenty more action in this National Premier League's Women's Clash, brought to you on the Football Queensland Facebook page by Double Take. And Jess McLean is right into the action up front. Cheeky from Latham, didn't come off though, and just allows Sian Freer another opportunity to run at Sen. Freer does well on the outside, he's forced back though. Good defence in the end from Capalaba, not over-committing. Cook. Lots of space on this near side for Barry, who had to check her run. It's a decent enough ball towards Beaumont. Fell for lines though. Here come the Roar again. Nice footwork over on that far side. Beaumont's in the middle. Oh, it's in! Is it an own goal? Or is it Liani Freer? A sheepish celebration from the Roar would suggest that it was perhaps an own goal. It was certainly under pressure from Liani Freer. That's the second goal, the first goal of the half, the second goal for the Brisbane Roar NTC, and it's Liani Freer who will credit it for. We'll see what the referee says in his match report, but good pressure from the Brisbane Roar, and I do believe it was India Page Riley who delivered the cross that caused all the problems. Here she is now on the right hand side, squeezes the ball In once more, it's still there. Backing through with Liani Freer, who helps her opponent back to her feet. Got a taste for goal and just wants to make sure her name is on the team sheet, on the score sheet, even if that goal isn't credited to her. Might just be the angle that we've got here, I'm not sure. It was Liani Freer who got the goal, and her sister Sian over on that far side, who would have been called offside and is in fact now called offside in challenging Zazaya Sen. The Raw have retaken the lead. They had an early lead through India Page Riley in the first half, and they've retaken the initiative here once more. Capalaba with it all to do in order to get themselves back into this game. That's Jess McLean challenging for the ball over on that far side, making a nuisance of herself. Capalaba are forced back. Tiggles hooked it forward, but not far enough. Through ball aimed towards Liani Freer. It's taken out by McDowell. Apologies, Spence. McDowell is on the bench. McDowell, who did score twice in the 3-3 draw against the Raw here at John Fredericks Park in that round 5 clash. 3-3 that game finished. As I was mentioning before, all the action, Capalaba are the only team outside the top 4 to take points off the Raw NTC this season with that 3-3 draw. It's the only draw either side have had in the competition. It's good pressure. Here's an opportunity perhaps for Beaumont. Good work from Beaumont. She's tackled well though. Shot comes in. Good save. Really good save from Megan Burial. Shot came in from Liani Freer. On the Football Queensland Instagram page, Football QLD. We've all been getting involved in our predictions, and 93% of you have picked the Raw. Well, 93% of you will be smiling as things stand, as ball is headed back behind by Spence. Another corner kick for the Raw coming in from this near side. It is Brisbane Raw who lead by 2-1. Oh, was swept in. Beaumont was there at the near post. At the back post now, though, is Liani Freer. That's her second in as many minutes. And the Raw have all of a sudden leapt into a 3-1 lead here at John Frederick Park. Lovely finish from Freer. And after a very competitive first half, Aurora have just stepped things up a gear. And all of a sudden, Capalaba are staring down the barrel of another defeat here at John Fredericks Park. Already suffered 6 of them this season. And here come the Raw again. Liani Freer was tearing down the middle. She checked her run though. Oh, it's squeezed all the way through to Riley. Beaumont's in the middle. Can Riley deliver across? She has Barry in support. She uses Barry in the end. It was good defending from Capalaba. It's chipped in rather aimlessly by Cook, and the chance is not quite gone. Barry does retain possession. It's forced all the way back to Chappell, who's a long way out of her area. Here's McQueen. McQueen is being challenged by McLean. Make sure your pronunciation's right, commentator. All player bundled to the deck there. I think it was Sian Freer. You won't take that lightly, you wouldn't have thought. No, Capalaba can only launch the ball forward once more to Chappell, who's been a rather isolated figure so far in this second half after needing to be called upon on a couple of occasions. Offside is for call. Over on that far side. Morgan Pace, the assistant referee, on the near side of the field as we see it. Capalaba really need to get a grip of this game all of a sudden. It could run away from them very quickly, but this is better. Latham. Dispossessed though was Vicky Lyons, who scored with an absolute rocket towards the end of the first half. It's good football from Brisbane Roar. That's really nice, really neat work from Winona Heatley. She cut back inside, showed composure, used her central defenders in order to retain possession. Good work. On talent, the Year 11 Queensland Academy Creative Industries student. Let's turn over from that far side, and now here comes Sian Freer. Has numbers in the box to Sian Freer. She's going to go herself though, is she? Oh, it comes off the foot of Byriel. Offside flag has been raised on this near side. Apologies for not picking that up earlier. Sure, it looked like Sian Freer had timed her run pretty well, but evidently that was not the case. That's sloppy from Capalaba. Spence asking a bit too much of Thompson. Liani Freer hooks it on to Riley. Spence concedes for throw-in. Should be taken by Barry. Long throw, but it never quite got to Beaumont. Passing from Capalaba. Sims back to Thompson, back to Spence. Here's Thompson once more. There's absolutely nobody up there for Thompson to deliver that ball to. It was rather a hit and hope more than anything. And here comes Heatley once more, just injecting some pace. That's lovely from Heatley, good footwork. Just shrugs off the attentions of Robbins. Cuts back inside, tries to play in Beaumont, but never got to her. Excellent football once again from Winona Heatley. Sims is under a bit of pressure. And a collision there in the midfield between Heatley and the substitute Jess McLean for Capalaba, wearing the number 5 jersey. Liani Freer now has 2 goals. Here's Beaumont over towards Sian Freer. Liani's in the penalty area. Sian can't get her cross in though. It's forced back. There comes the cross now, and it's fallen favourably for Riley. Riley back inside for Beaumont. Beaumont uses her strength. Here's Barry. Cuts across field. He's going to be challenged by Sims. Sims did well, but not enough to stop the ball ending up at Sian Freer's feet. Now McQueen goes forward once more. Lovely football from Brisbane Roar this. Final ball not quite there from the youngsters. Westland forced to play an early ball perhaps, and that's to her disadvantage. Sims wins the throw-in. Off McQueen, who's stayed forward after that run. Went for Raw last year, did Holly McQueen, after being an Olympic and Western Pride junior. suddenly Capalaba have a little bit of impetus going forward. His line's offside. Doesn't matter anyway. Vanessa Martin's never had the opportunity to get her flag up before the ball went out, had she been offside, but she might have been played onside as Chapel gets us going quickly once more to Barry. It's a good tackle, and it is Capalaba ball, or it should be Capalaba ball. And Amber Sims, you can perhaps hear what she thinks about that. And I think she's got every reason to feel hard done by there, although it was a fine touch, and you would have probably heard it on your sound effects, Mike. Be careful now, Sims. She's chasing that ball down hard, but that injustice is spurring Capalaba on. Thompson delivering a ball across field, but it's cut out, and the Roar will build once more. Liani Freer. Sure, it was probably intended for Beaumont, but just a bit too much weight on that pass. We'll go again. Headed on by McLean, but there's nobody there to take advantage. Vicky Lyons busting her gut to get there, but it was far too late. Sims is still forward. Heatley launches that ball long towards Sian Freer, and there's a little bit of a misjudgment there from the centre-back Robbins. And here's Sian Freer, still got the ball. Challenged by Sen, that's good defending from Sen. She got a bit caught out of position, but did track back, and it's only a corner when it could have been so much worse for Capalaba. The Bulldogs hanging on a little bit here. Brisbane Roar leading by 3-1. Taken short. The Roar are in favour of those types of balls. Good control by Liani Free on the edge of the area, but Capalaba will break. Here is Sims. It's forced back, and that's a poor ball by Sims. Page. India Page Riley rides a couple of challenges. Duncan Mansfield's not interested, despite the reproachful look from our opening goal scorer of the evening. No nonsense from Heatley as that ball goes straight back and ends up at the feet of Riley once more. Beaumont forced wide. Has a couple of Freers in the middle, puts it between both of them. Sian Freer will gather over on that far side. Passes it to her twin, Liani, who's on a hat-trick. Maybe she'll fancy this. She doesn't initially. It's a good shot. Oh, it ended up just being thumbled behind. It's a nice effort from McGrath. In year 11 at school, from Germany, a Bayern Munich fan. Played to the south of where we are, in Alstonville and Lismore. That's where she played SAT football. Once again, it's taken quickly. Riley delivering ball to the near post. There's only a Capalaba player there, and might be fortunate. Good challenge by Barry. Barry just tries to hook it back inside. No real teammates on her wavelength, but McGrath once again claims that ball. It's helped on by Sen to be cleared upfield by Burial. Lyons is battling, but doesn't come away with it. It's called under Freer's feet, and then a throw into the Roar is conceded by Vicky Lyons, who's worked incredibly hard up top. Former Arsenal Ladies Academy player. She's also played in a variety of clubs in the Midlands: Leicester City, Birmingham City, Aston Villa and Peterborough United, before joining University of Queensland and Peninsula Power. It's an ugly looking tackle over towards the edge of the penalty area. On Liani Freer. We're going to see a substitution. Two substitutions. McQueen's gone off. She's been impressive at centre back. Capalaba have changed things up a little as well. Looks like another forward's been brought on. Bulldogs. Free kick is swung in, comfortably dealt with by Burial. It is, it's Chelsea Fryer. And the Tarragindi Tiger, now playing for the Bulldogs. Wearing the number 16 jersey, over on that far side of the field. That's a disappointing clearance from Tegan Thompson. She knows she was frustrated with herself. No chance for Sims to claim that ball. Here's Heatley, another bit of excellent control from Heatley. She's been very impressive, Heatley. Real talent. Only in year 11. Will go wide. It was Anne-Marie Coyne who's just come on in place of Holly McQueen. She played the ball out wide where a battle has ensued for possession involving the other substitute, Chelsea Fryer. Both came on at the same time. Will come away with it. Sean Freer. Back to Winona Heatley. Long ball. Hopeful ball, really. Hoping that it would fall through to Riley, and then, despite having a couple of cracks at it, never ended up getting through to her. And here's an opportunity perhaps for Capalaba through Amber Sims. She's forced back. Good chasing by Jasmine Barry. And then her ball towards Thompson was cut out by Ingy Paige Riley. Here's an opportunity perhaps for Sean Freer. Desire Sen under all sorts of trouble over on that far side, but Burial was out to claim. Capalaba really need a goal soon, you'd have thought, if they're to get anything at all from this match. Just a reminder, the first game back in round 5 did finish 3-3 between these two, so that result is still on. In order to score, Capalaba need the ball, and the Raw have expertly denied them that so far in this second half. It's been a fine performance, a mightily impressive performance from the Raw NTC girls. David De Silva will be thrilled with what he's seen in the second half, you would have thought. Here's Liani Freer. She's got 2 goals so far in this second half. She plays McGrath in over on that far side. Back here to the substitute Fryer. She can't keep it in. Another Raw throw in over on that far side of the field. 15 minutes or so remaining in this game. Nice work from Liani Freer, letting the ball do all the work. It's laid back. Half shot from McGrath, and then Ingy Paige Riley gets a deflected shot away. Another corner for the Brisbane Raw. Will go short once more. Ingy Paige Riley is there, but I think it's a decoy. Cross comes in. Did it go out? It did. Flag was up from Morgan Pace on this near sideline. The assistant referee. Referees sponsored by Total Tools, Duncan Mansfield and Vanessa Martins. Duncan Mansfield, the man in the middle. Vanessa Martins over on the far touchline, patrolling the attacking half of Capalaba in this second half, and I have to say she's not had all that much to do. Liani Freer gives away a free kick. Sims leaves it for Spence. Collins. Spence once more. Collins wants it wide, but goes down the middle to Sims. And Spence to Latham, and now once more Robbins. This is better from Capalaba. The substitute Fryer. It's forced back to Sen. Sen gets across him. There's no one there other than Jess McLean. She can't quite get there fast enough. He was a fair distance away from her, in fairness. Barry takes on Sims and then is grateful for the assistance of Cook. Nice football over on that far side once again. Heatley dropped very deep now. Riley is squeezed out of it by a combination of Collins and Thompson. Collins, difficult now though for Spence. Oriel was called upon and Capalaba are conspiring to put themselves into a spot of bother here. They managed to get that ball away. Latham, she's dispossessed now, and here's Westland. Here's Westland, and then it's a shot from Graf. It was closer than it looked, I think. Not too far away at all. Megan Bariel was either incredibly confident it was going wide or had no chance of getting to it. Or I've completely misread it and it was a bit further away than we all thought. Comes off the side of the head there. It's fallen for Liani Freer. Plays the ball in towards Beaumont. Beaumont can't get a shot away though. Good defending by Spence, who recovered well. It's a good tackle put in by Coyne on McLean. McGrath. She's dispossessed now by Steph Latham. That ball's hooked forward by Jess McLean to a spot where she probably would expect someone to be waiting, but there was nobody there, unfortunately, for Capalaba, and time continues to tick on. Just a reminder, 2 more games for you this weekend in the Football Queensland competition stable. Super Saturday will kick things off at 6:30 from the National Premier League's Queensland. Brisbane City taking on Cairns as we break because Beaumont is bearing down on goal. Good defence by Thompson. Really good defence from Thompson. You would have thought perhaps that Beaumont would have been able to fashion a shot away, but it's excellently chased down and denied by Capalaba centre-back. Left-back, sorry. It's gone all the way towards Riley, and it's once again Thompson who gets her body in the way. She's gone through a lot of work at left-back, has Thompson. Now Barriel will hook that ball upfield. And McLean will hope to retain possession. Latham, lovely touch from Latham, out wide towards Robbins. Apologies, Fry. No, it is Robbins. Free ball by Latham, asking a fair bit of McLean. The ball goes out for a goal kick. So I was saying, Brisbane City against Cairns in the National Premier League's Queensland. Joining the conversation with that. Hashtag NPLQ. LD. I'll get there eventually. 6:30 kick-off at Corporate Travel Management Stadium, and if you're not bored of my voice yet, then we'll give you another opportunity to grow tired of it in that game as I bring you all the action from 2 teams who have hit a bit of form in recent weeks. Brisbane City getting back to winning ways after a couple of defeats in the FFA Cup against Olympic. What a game that was, by the way. And there's been a little bit of a coming together here. It's Cook who's on her haunches. Cook and Tibbles. Environmental scientist of Spanish descent has got to her defeat. Should have enjoyed, perhaps not enjoyed, the 1-0 victory over Iran. Her half-countrymen have managed to put together overnight. Diego Costa with the goal there. Ball just runs a little bit away from Raw over on that far side. Sended well. and continues to do well. Here's McLean, holds the ball up well and then links up with Sen, but Sen can't play in Chelsea Fryer over on that far side. It's unfortunate for Capalaba. A neat little bit of interplay on the right of the defence. Defence and attack linking up, but doing so in the defensive half, and that's not where Capalaba need to be if they want to get themselves back into this game, and they are fast running out of time in which they are able to do so, or may be able to do so. Not long remaining at all here at John Fredericks Park. Inside 10 minutes to go. There will be a couple of minutes for stoppage time, you would have thought. Flag is up. It's a Capalaba throw-in over on that far side. So Super Saturday tomorrow for Brisbane City and Cairns from 6:30. Then the Sunday sessions this week from the Football Queensland Premier League is Ipswich Knights against Souths United. 3 o'clock kickoff out there in Bundamba. If you're not sick of me after 2 games this weekend, well, you surely will be after the 3rd. I'll be taking you through all the Football Queensland action this weekend and feel privileged to do so. Robbins gets her foot in the way of that one and squeezes a ball through, but that's good defence and lovely bit of skill. Great ambition from Heatley, but she gets caught out a little bit and a bit of danger now. Sims pressuring Chapel, and the Raw do fashion it clear, but Robbins is there again and engaging a little bit of subterfuge here. Robbins just helpfully kicks that ball away. She's only wasting her own time. 8 minutes remaining now in this National Premier League's women's clash, and it's the Raw who have the upper hand, but an opportunity perhaps now for Latham. Latham, awkward bounce. Chapel did well, diving to her right. Good work from Steph Latham. Heatley. Ask a bit of McGrath, but McGrath does well. She's down on her haunches though, and a snapshot comes in from McLean. It was always going wide. You could tell from Chapel's body position, but she wasn't overly worried. India Paige Riley, who made a fair chunk of Wednesday night's match for the Raw women, is just asking Morgan Pace on this near side how much time's left. 8 or so minutes, give or take some, for time added on. India Paige Riley, who opened the scoring here, with a really assured finish in the opening minutes of the game. They were pegged back overall by Vicky Lyons in the 40th minute. Thunderbolt of a strike, that one. And Capalaba looked like they were going to be able to get something from this match for long periods of that first half, but in the second half it's been 2 goals from Liani Freer in the space of 2 minutes that have done the damage. Here come Capalaba hoping to get a goal back. Cross came in from Thompson, but was well dealt with by the 17-year-old Chapel, and good throw out to Riley on this near side, who can't get that ball past Collins. Collins is forced back and has to go all the way back to Megan Burial. That's over the head of Barry and Thompson, and there'll be a throw-in that Thompson will take, presumably back to the hugely impressive Winona Heatley, who's been excellent in the midfield and now at the back for the Raw. Barney Freer taken down by Robbins, who got a piece of the ankle. Robbins not offering a word, or just a couple of words now being exchanged between Robbins and Freer. Coyne. McGrath hoping to make something happen across field. Good work from McGrath. And here's Riley, who can't drag her now surely weary legs past the Capalaba edge of their defence. And it's out for a goal kick that Burial will take. It's petering out somewhat this game, and then when Burial puts it right onto the chest of Riley, expect there might be something coming back your way, but Riley perhaps exposing her weariness and fatigue, and comes from playing 2 games in a matter of days. Fine learning experience for the youngster though, you'd have to say. Beaumont does well. There's options in the middle for Liani Freer, but couldn't quite get the ball to her. And Capalaba are able to clear. Cook rides one challenge and the Raw do come away with it. Barry is free on this near side, but runs away from assistance, and the Raw go back to their left. Lovely ball towards Liani Freer, but too close to Burial. Robbins. And Thompson had a little bit more time than she thought, but still managed to squeeze the ball through to Sims. Sen has feeling the pace over on the far side. She's stretching out her calves and hamstrings. The Raw have really peppered the right-hand side of the Capalaba defence. And Desire Sen is really feeling it now, you think. Oh, it might just be cramp. That's certainly the diagnosis of Dr. Megan Burial in goal. Goalkeepers do tend to get called upon for all sorts of bits of assistance, and the players will talk amongst themselves as the clock continues to wind down. Two goal scorers talking in front of us, Liani Freer and India Page Riley. Not quite sure Desire Sen is going to be able to continue. A fair bit of bother. In that case, there's just enough time to remind you to check out the Football Queensland website, footballqueensland.com.au, for all the previews and reviews from the 3 Football Queensland competitions. You'll get all your features and player profiles and all sorts of other information on the website. Plenty of exciting and interesting content going up on the Football Queensland website. It'll keep you entertained. You'll be able to get your full reviews of the matches that have taken place over the course of the weekend. And speaking of which, there are a couple. Logan versus Mudgeeraba is another game that's taking place this Friday night. That kicks off at 7:15 at Cornubia Park, just down the road. And 3 games on Saturday from the National Premier League's women's. Sunshine Coast Wanderers taking on Western Pride at 5 o'clock at Ballinger Park. Easts, they take on Lions at Heath Park. Middleton welcome Moreton Bay United to Taralba Park. They're both taking place at 6 o'clock. And then the remaining 2 games will take place on Sunday. Gold Coast United host South West Queensland Thunder at Station Reserve. 5:30 kickoff down on the Gold Coast at Robina. And then Souths United take on the Gap. 2nd versus 3rd. What a game that will be. That's at Wakeley Park at 6 o'clock. So if you're in the area, do a lot worse than checking that game out. Of course, I'll be behind the mic for the Sunday Sessions live stream match between Ipswich Knights and Souths from the Football Queensland Premier League. That game kicks off at 3 o'clock, so before you head down to Wakeley Park for that National Premier League women's top of the table clash, you can join me out there at Ipswich as Anna McGrath has an opportunity. Perhaps she twists and turns. Rather run out of ideas did Anna McGrath, but it's squeezed through. Has it now for Sean Freer, it's there, and Liani Freer does get her hat-trick right at the death. Fantastic finish from Liani Freer, so calm, so composed. That's a fantastic way to end for Liani Freer, played in by her twin sister for her hat-trick. And that's an emphatic way to finish, a fine way to finish. Duncan Mansfield doesn't bother with getting us restarted after that goal, and it's finished here. Brisbane Roar have beaten Capalaba by 4-1. That is the 7th time of the season that Capalaba have conceded more than 4 goals at home. It's been a torrid run from them here at John Frederick Park. Brisbane Roar's nomadic existence continues. They pick up their 11th win of the season to move momentarily at least ahead of Moreton Bay United into the top 4. Moreton Bay United, of course, taking on Mitchelton at Taraba Park at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Thank you very much for joining me, Simon Smale, here on the Football Queensland Facebook page and YouTube channel. It's been a real pleasure to have you alongside me here for this Friday night football clash in the National Premier League's Women's. I look forward to seeing you over the next couple of days as we take Super Saturday to Corporate Travel Management Stadium and then Sunday sessions out to Ipswich. Check football at footballqld for on social media, Instagram and Twitter for all the details of those fixtures. Meanwhile, here from John Fredericks Park, it's good night from me. I hope you have a good evening. It's been a Double Take Productions for Football Queensland. Thank you very much for joining us.